Hey there, and welcome. If you feel like you are constantly playing catch up with AI, well, this is for you. We're about to go on a journey that's going to take you from feeling kind of overwhelmed to feeling totally empowered. The goal? To turn AI into your most valuable tool. All right, let's dive in.
I really want to start with this quote because it's the absolute truth. Seriously, most people still have no idea how to actually use AI in a meaningful way. The fact that you're even watching this right now puts you way ahead of the curve.
In fact, I'll make you a promise. By the time we're done here, you are going to know more about using AI than 90% of the population. That is a massive leap forward, and believe me, we are just getting warmed up.
But we're not going to stop there. Oh no. If you take what you learn here and actually put it into practice, you'll land squarely in the top 1% of all AI users. See, the gap between an average user and a true pro, it's all about how you apply the knowledge, and it's way smaller than you think. So, if you want to become a master, you first got to understand the machine, right? Let's pull back the curtain for a second and see what's really going on under the hood. It's not magic, it's just some very clever math. Every single thing an AI has ever learned, every video, every book, every weird Reddit thread, it all gets shattered into these tiny little pieces called tokens. Just think of them as Lego bricks for information. The AI's entire job, its whole purpose, is to look at the Legos you put down and predict, based on all the structures it's ever seen, which brick most likely comes next.
And this just illustrates the point perfectly. If I say, twinkle, twinkle, little, what does your brain instantly do? It says star. That is literally all AI is doing, just on a planetary scale with trillions of patterns. It's just completing the sentence, which is why the sentence you give it is so incredibly important. Which brings us to the most fundamental skill of all, prompting. You have to get this in your head. The quality of the answers you get will never, ever exceed the quality of the questions you ask. It's that simple. Garbage in, garbage out. But quality in, that's when you start getting what feels like magic.
Now, this is a wild story. This quote comes from a founder who was stuck, really stuck, for 3 weeks trying to write a marketing plan. He was going in circles. He learned a new way to prompt a specific formula, and in 12 seconds, the AI spit out the perfect plan. The only thing that changed was how he asked.
So, here it is. This is that million-dollar formula. It's called RCCF. First, R is for role. You tell the AI who to be, act like a world-class copywriter. This takes it from knowing everything to being an expert in one thing. Next, C is for context. Give it the background, the documents, the details. The more context, the better the answer. Then, the second C is for command. Be super explicit. Don't hint. Tell it exactly what to do. And finally, F is for format. Tell it how you want the output back. A table, bullet points, a PDF. It's that simple.
Okay, so you've got the fundamentals down now. You're already ahead of 90% of people. Now let's talk about the techniques that are going to launch you into that top 1%. This is where you go from someone who just uses AI to someone who really wields it.
You know, the first secret of the masters is just focus. Learning AI is a lot like learning a musical instrument. You don't try to learn piano, guitar, and the drums all at the same time, right? No. You pick one, you get really good at it, and then the skills transfer. It's the same here. Pick one AI tool and just go deep.
So which one should you pick? Well, here's a quick guide to the big three. If you do a ton of writing, creative work, coding, or just deep thinking, Claude is absolutely fantastic. If you need the most up-to-date information for research and you're plugged into Google's world, Gemini is your best bet. And for a great, solid all-rounder that connects to almost everything, you really can't go wrong with ChatGPT. Just pick the one that fits your daily workflow and commit to mastering it.
Okay, this next concept is probably the biggest difference maker between an amateur and a pro. It's push versus pull prompting. See, most people push. They do 80% of the thinking, telling the AI every little step. It's like getting vague directions from a friend who's bad with street names. Pros, on the other hand, they pull. They just give the AI the final destination, the outcome they want, and let the AI work like a GPS to figure out the best route. You let it do the heavy lifting.
So how do you do it? It's actually a really simple shift. You still give the role and the context, that's crucial, but then you just state your final goal, your destination. And then, here's the magic phrase that changes everything. You command the AI, ask me all the questions you need for you to create this for me. You see that? You flip the script. Instead of you feeding it info, it starts pulling the exact information it needs from you. Now, to make this whole process even more powerful, you create what's called a master prompt. I want you to think of this as a user manual about you. Instead of explaining who you are and what you care about every single time you start a chat, you create one single document with all of that context. This one move takes the AI from being a generic tool to a personal assistant that actually knows you.
So what goes in this user manual? Basically anything that gives it context about your world, your role, the key people you work with, your products, your specific communication style. Do you use emojis? Are you formal? Even your core values. You feed this to the AI at the start of a project and bam, suddenly its answers are tailored just for you.
So you know how AI works, you know how to prompt it, and you know the advanced techniques. But what about the future? The last and, I think, most important step is to focus on the skills that AI simply can't replace. This is how you make sure AI turns you into a weapon, not a replacement.
First up is taste. An AI can generate 1,000 options, but it has no idea which one is actually excellent. That requires a human with good taste. And how do you develop that? You immerse yourself in the best of the best. Follow the masters in your field, read their work, and train your own mind to recognize what world-class actually looks and feels like.
The second human edge is vision. Look, machines are incredible at optimizing what already exists, but humans, we excel at imagining what doesn't exist yet. That's our superpower. Your job is to have the vision. Actually schedule time to just think, to dream, to plan. Then you can use AI as the ultimate tool to help you build that vision into reality.
And last, but maybe most powerfully, is care. This is the one thing I am absolutely certain AI will never truly replicate, that genuine, heartfelt, human connection. By letting the AI handle all the boring, tedious work, you free up your most valuable resource, your time, to do what actually matters, to celebrate your clients, to really connect with your team, and to build those authentic relationships. Let's go back to that quote from the beginning. You are not behind. You are still so early to this game. Most companies haven't even started to scratch the surface. You're already ahead. But all this knowledge is useless without action. 10 minutes of actually doing this stuff will teach you more than 10 hours of watching videos about it.
So, my question for you is, what's your first step? Right now, think of one small, maybe even annoying daily task that you can start handing over to AI. Make a commitment. Start small and build from there. The journey to becoming a master, to getting into that top 1%, it doesn't start tomorrow. It starts right now.